Let's pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and legislative assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you've committed to our church. Good afternoon, honorable members. Welcome to our today's sitting. And so I'll call upon the clerk to start the business of the day.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Under this one, we have the Majority Leader, Honorable Nicholas Nzioka.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the following papers on the table of the Assembly today, Tuesday, 9th April 2024. 1. Half-year performance report for financial year 2023-2024 for the Office of the County Attorney. 2. The fourth report of Committee on Selection, on Nomination and Substitution of Members to Committees. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Nicholas Nzioka and Majority Leader. Next is Honorable before I call upon Honorable Phoebe Koki, I'll commit that paper to Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. So, Honorable Phoebe, you may proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly today, Tuesday, 9th April 2024. Report of the Devolution and in the Governmental Relations Committee on the assumption of office of the second governor of Machakos County. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Phoebe. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Under this one, we still have Honorable Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give notice of motion that, notwithstanding the resolution of the Assembly made on 4th October 2022, 11th November 2022, and 13th March 2024, that is approval of committee membership, and pursuant to Standing Order number 155, this Honorable House approves the nomination and substitution of members to committees as contained in the fourth report of Committee on Selection, on substitution and nomination of members to committees and as specified in the schedule annexed to the order paper. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Nicholas. Honorable Phoebe Koki.
Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order number 189, I wish to give a notice of motion that this Honorable House adopts the report on the devolution and intergovernmental relations committee on the assumption of office of the second governor of Machakos County as laid on the table of this House on Tuesday, 9th April 2024. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Phoebe. Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
On this one, we have Honorable Nicholas Nzioka, the Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee met today, 9th April 2024, to prioritize business for the House as forwarded by committees and honorable members pursuant to the provision of Standing Order number 151, Suborder 6D. The committee balloted business as follows. Tuesday afternoon, 9th April 2022 at 2:30 p.m. A. Response to a statement on status of community health promoters in the county by the Honorable Vincent Mutie. B. Report on nomination and substitution of members to committees by the Honorable Nicholas Nzioka. Tuesday morning, 16th April 2024 at 10 a.m. A. Response to a statement on safety of employees at Golden Africa Limited by the Honorable Joshua Mwanga. B. Statement on recruitment of ECD teachers by the Honorable Paul Wambua. C. Report on assumption of office of the second governor of Machakos County by the Honorable Phoebe Koki. Tuesday afternoon, 16th April 2024 at 2:30 p.m. A. Statement on status of Machakos People's Park by the Honorable Brian Kisila. B. Statement on status of Iyani Dispensary in Kiva Ward by the Honorable Alphonse Mutinda. C. Report on assumption of office of the second governor of Machakos County by the Honorable Phoebe Koki. Wednesday morning, 17th April 2024 at 10 a.m. A. Statement on status of implementation of projects in the ADP for 2023-2024 for Masinga Central Ward by the Honorable Joshua Mwanga. B. Statement on status of county machinery by the Honorable Brian Kisila. And D. Motion on establishment of youth and sport incubation centers by the Honorable Anastasia Mutevu. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Majority Leader. Now we have a response on a statement status by Honorable Mutie.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I'd like to read out a response concerning the status of community health promoters.
Honorable Mutie, maybe you can just come forward if you have to read.
Thanks. Standing Order number 41.3 provides that where a member requests for a statement from the committee chairperson relating to a matter under the mandate of the committee, the Speaker may either appoint a day for the statement or direct that the statement sought must be restricted to matters within the mandate of the committee and which have been exhaustively dealt with and concluded by the committee, or where the chairperson is authorized by members to issue preliminary reports to the House. Honorable Speaker, on the 7th of November 2023, during the morning's plenary sitting, a statement on status of community health promoters in the county by Honorable Raphael Lucky, the MCA Matungulu West, was sought, seeking the following. Number one, we are in the know about the new developments on the community health promoters in our county. What plans has the Department of Health and Emergency Services put in place to ensure payment of arrears of the laid-off community health promoters? How prepared is the department on the newly recruited community health promoters in terms of their welfare, pay, and capacity building? Honorable Speaker, in response to the above statement, the committee requested from the Chief Officer Public Health and the department responded to the aforementioned statement through a letter that Machakos County has 2,870 community health promoters in 287 community health units across the county. The CHPs are served by 43 community health assistants, otherwise known as CHAS. The table attached there is a distribution of the health promoters per sub-county. The sub-county with the highest number is Mwala with 508 community health promoters, and the sub-county with least number of health promoters is Kalama sub-county with 160 health promoters. Honorable Speaker, the CHPs undergo basic and technical modules to equip them with knowledge and skill to address health matters at level 1 service, that is the household level. Out of the 2,870 community health promoters, 2,311 are trained on both basic and technical modules, and the remaining 559 are in the process of being trained. The department received 2,877 phones and phone covers and 2,877 kits from the national government. All the kits have so far been distributed to the CHPs. Distribution of medicine has been done to the sub-counties to issuance to eligible CHPs who are trained on handling the medicine and other equipment. The CHPs will be trained on electronic community information system on 28th and 29th of February 2024. The Department of Health and Emergency Services has streamlined payment of CHP stipend of 2,500 shillings per month. The CHPs have been paid for the months of November and December 2023, and the January payment is being processed. The department is yet to receive the national share of 50%, hence the 50-50 to give a total of 5,000 shillings per month. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mutia. Honorable Lucky, are you satisfied with the response?
Mr. Speaker, I'm Lucky Raphael, elected in Matungulu West Ward by the very good people of Matungulu West Ward to represent them. And Mr. Speaker, you can note that, and this I'm giving a note, that statement was sought in November and it's been answered in April. So, Mr. Speaker, we check on the turnaround time of replying statements. Mr. Speaker, I've listened to the answer given by Honorable Chair, and Mr. Speaker, it is not satisfactory because, Mr. Speaker, I was asking about people who have been stopped from working, and we are asking whether they have been paid, whether arrangements have been made for them to be paid. And it is not 1 month or 2 months, it is a lot of debt. So, Mr. Speaker, that answer was not given from the answer that has been read. And again, Mr. Speaker, I asked about what plans the government has for those who are serving, those who are currently serving. Also, we didn't get any satisfactory answer. And Mr. Speaker, it is a very important unit in our society which needs to be taken very good care for them to effectively deliver their responsibilities to our people. That unit goes deep to the villages and meets people who cannot go to work, to hospital or clinics or dispensaries. So, Mr. Speaker, we should make sure that that unit is very much funded, facilitated, prepared. It has all what it takes so that it can reach that mwananchi who cannot go to the hospital. So, Mr. Speaker, I stand to say and to ask your indulgence that we get a satisfactory answer and a very committed answer from the government, noting that the very important position that unit takes in our society, and also noting that those people don't work anywhere else and they move a lot. They need even more than what has been read. We need to have mobility of these people. We need to have a lot of encouragement for them to do that very important work they do. So, Mr. Speaker, I stand to ask for more answer and for more commitment from the side of the government. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Then that means we'll refer back the statement to the Committee on Health, and I hope the committee will invite the member when at the time when they'll be sorting the responses from the department, for him to clarify or get answers correctly from the department before it comes to the House. Next order.
Order number 8, motion, approval of members nominated to serve in committees.
Under this one, we have Honorable Nicholas Zioka, leader of Majority and Chairperson Selection Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that, notwithstanding the resolutions of the Assembly made on the 4th October 2022, 11th November 2022, and 13th March 2024, that is approval of committees membership, and pursuant to Standing Order number 155, this Honorable House approves the nomination and substitution of members to committees as contained in the 4th report of Committee on Selection, on substitution and nomination of members to committees, and as specified in a schedule annexed to the order paper. Honorable Speaker, I wish to call upon the minority leader to second the motion before I give the highlights.
Thank you, Honorable Ndawa. I now propose the question that, notwithstanding the resolution of the Assembly made on 4th October 2022, 11th November 2022, and 13th March 2024, approval of committees membership, and pursuant to Standing Order 155, this Honorable House approves the nomination and substitution of members to committees as contained in the 4th report of Committee on Selection, on substitution and nomination of members to committees, and as specified in the schedule annexed to the order paper. And before I invite members For debate, let me call the mover to take the House through the highlights of the report.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. This is the fourth report of Committee on Selection on substitution and nomination of members to committees. It's dated 9th April 2024. With your indulgence, Mr. Speaker, I wish to go straight to the background and then to the substitution and nomination of members to committees, if you allow.
Proceed.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The background, that is nomination and substitution of members to committees. Article 124, Sub-Article 1 of the Constitution provides that each House of Parliament may establish committees and shall make standing orders for the orderly conduct of its proceedings, including the proceedings of its committees. Section 14, subsection 1 of the County Government Act provides that a county assembly A may make standing orders consistent with the Constitution, and this act regulating the procedure of the county assembly, including, in particulars, order for the proper conduct of proceedings, and B, subject to standing orders made under paragraph A, may establish committees in such a manner and for such general or specific purposes as it considers fit, and regulate the procedure of any committee so established. Further, Section 14, subsection 4 of the County Government Act provides that the County Assembly shall, in establishing committees under this section, ensure that each member of the County Assembly is appointed to at least one committee. Standing Order 152.2 provides that the Committee on Selection shall nominate or substitute members to serve in committees, save for the membership of the House Business Committee and Committee on Appointments. Standing Order 153 provide for nomination of members to select committees as follows. A, unless otherwise provided by any written law or these standing orders, the Committee on Selection shall, in consultation with Assembly parties, nominate members who shall serve on a select committee. The Committee on Selection shall give consideration to need for gender balance and shall, so far as is practicable, ensure that no more than 2/3 of membership of a committee, including a committee established through a resolution of the House, are of the same gender. 3, a vacancy occasioned by the resignation or removal of a member from a select committee shall be filled within 14 days of the vacancy. And 4, a member against whom an adverse recommendation has been made in a report of a select committee that has been adopted by the Assembly shall be ineligible for nomination as member of that committee. Further, Standing Order 154 provides for the criteria for nomination as follows. 1, in nominating members to serve on a select committee, the selection committee shall ensure that the membership of each committee reflects the relative majority of the seats held by each of the assembly parties in the assembly. Number 2, despite paragraph 1, a member belonging to a party other than an assembly party or independent member may be nominated to serve in select committee, and the allocation of membership of select committee shall be as nearly as practicable proportional to the number of members belonging to such parties and independent members. 3, except as the Assembly may otherwise resolve on the recommendation of the Committee on Selection for reasons to be stated, no member shall be appointed to serve in more than 2 sectoral committees. In addition, Standing Order 155 provides for approval of nomination as follows. 1, the Selection Committee shall, within 7 days upon nomination of members to serve in any committee of the House, present the list to the House for approval. 2, whenever a motion for approval of a list under paragraph 1 is moved in the House, no objection against the proposed membership of a member in a select committee shall be permitted, and objections, if any, shall be formulated against the proposed membership as a whole. 3. A member shall not be a member of a committee of the House unless the nomination of such a member into the committee is approved by the House. Further, Standing Order number 156 provides for discharge of a member from a committee. The Assembly's party that nominated a member to a select committee may discharge a member from a select committee after according the member an opportunity to be heard. The Assembly party whip of the party that nominated the member to a select committee shall give notice in writing accompanied with evidence that the affected member was afforded. The Speaker shall, within 3 days of receipt of the notice under paragraph 2, inform the member of the notice, and discharge shall take effect forthwith. Mr. Speaker, I now go to the substitution and nomination of members to committees. The Committee on Selection held a meeting on 4th April 2024 and pursuant to Standing Order number 152-2, substituted and nominated members in committees. The major purpose for this exercise was to enhance efficiency in committees as the Selection Committee had received concern from Assembly parties on changes in Assembly party realignments and loyalty. B, to ensure membership in each of the committees reflect relative majority of seats held by each of the Assembly parties in the Assembly, pursuant to Standing Order 151-4. The party strength for committees within the 13 members are Wiper Democratic Movement, Kenya, 6 members, Maendeleo Chapchap Party, 4 members, United Democratic Alliance, 2 members, and People's Trust Party, PTP, 1 member. Guided by Standing Order number 152 and Standing Order number 154, the Committee on Selection undertook substitution and nomination of members in committees as shown in Table 3.1 below, whereby members in Column 3 were substituted with members in Column 4. I'll start. Number 1, Committee on Trade, Economic Planning and Industrialization. Out goes Honorable Ndi Kivuva, Honorable Mathias Mwasya, and Honorable Matthew Ndunda. In goes Honorable Faria Abdi, Honorable Philip Ndolo, and Honorable Mathias Mwasya. I think there's a... I'm well guided. Thank you. Committee on Education and Social Services. Out goes Honorable Eric Wambua. In goes Honorable Ann Dilo. Number 3, Justice and Legal Affairs. Out goes Honorable Joshua Mwanga and Honorable Ruth Wanjiro. In goes Honorable Benjamin Chule and Honorable Boniface Katiti. Committee on Agriculture. Out goes Honorable Benjamin Chule. In goes Honorable Joshua Mwanga. Committee on Finance and Revenue Collection. Out goes Honorable Philip Ndolo. In comes Honorable Boniface Katiti. Committee of Environment and Natural Resources. Out goes Honorable Nicholas Nzioka and Honorable Boniface Katiti. In goes Honorable Eric Wambua and Honorable Philip Ndolo. Committee on Labor, Public Service and ICT. Out goes Honorable Rose Benjamin and Honorable Matthew Ndunda. And in goes Honorable Ann Dilo and Honorable Nicholas Nzioka. Committee on Social Welfare and Sports. Out goes Honorable Lucky Raphael and in comes Honorable Ndi Kivuva. Lands and Energy. Out goes Honorable Stephen Mwande. In goes Honorable Ruth Wanjiro. Devolution and Intergovernmental Relation. Out goes Honorable Ann Dilo. In goes Honorable Rose Benjamin. Committee on Delegated Legislation. Out goes Honorable Matthew Ndunda, Honorable Faria Abdi, Honorable Ndi Kivuva. In goes Honorable Catherine Che, Honorable Catherine Moya, and Honorable Raphael Lucky. Committee on Procedure and Rules. Out goes Honorable Boniface Katiti. In goes Honorable Matthew Ndunda. Honorable Speaker, I read the recommendation. Pursuant to Standing Order number 155, the Committee on Selection recommends that the House approves the appointment of members substituted and nominated to the following 12 committees as contained in this report and as in Table 3.1. 1, Trade, Economic Planning and Industrialization. Honorable Faria Abdi, Honorable Philip Ndolo, and Honorable Mathias Mwasya. 2, Education and Social Services, Honorable Ann Dilo. 3, Justice and Legal Affairs, Honorable Benjamin Chule and Honorable Boniface Ketiti. 3, Agriculture, no, 4, Agriculture, Honorable Joshua Mwonga. 5, Finance and Revenue Collection, the Honorable Boniface Ketiti. Environment and Natural Resources, the Honorable Eric Wambua and the Honorable Philip Ndolo. Labor, Public Service and ICT, the Honorable Ann Dilo and the Honorable Nicholas Nzioka. Social Welfare and Sport, the Honorable Ndiki Vuva. Lands and Energy, the Honorable Ruth Wanjiru. Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations, the Honorable Rose Benjamin. Delegated Legislation, the Honorable Catherine Chair, the Honorable Catherine Moya, and the Honorable Raphael Lucky. Procedure and Rules, the Honorable Matthew Ndunda. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Majority Leader. I now invite members to debate the motion. Yes, Honorable Mutia.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for that time. I like to give my comments and over the exercise that the good committee has done in substituting, reorganizing, and punishing, of course. I have no problem with that third part, but I am informed by the mentioning by the Honorable Majority Leader on the reasons that the decision was necessary. Nevertheless, I would like to observe that the reorganization, in my view, does not seem to enhance performance, because we have several members who have been adversely affected. I am looking at the Honorable Matthew Ndunda. Matthew Ndunda was my vice chair at the Committee of Health, and he seems to be a very big casualty of this reorganization. I also saw that the Honorable Ndiki Vuva also has become another casualty of this reorganization, especially at Delegated Legislation Committee, where he had just been elected as a chair. Honorable Speaker, I have no problem as because the committee was doing its work, but I like to dramatize the occurrence, if you allow me. In my favorite cartoon series, Tom and Jerry, there is an episode, and in that episode, Thomas dies, of course, after running after Jerry for a long time. And he goes to heaven. And at the gate of heaven, he finds St. Peter. And he tells him in his characteristic way that, Thomas, just a minute. And he takes a book and reviews and reviews. And he comes with a conclusion and says, apparently, Thomas, all your life, you are busy chasing an innocent mouse. Therefore, you cannot enter heaven because of that one purpose. Honorable Speaker, my opinion is that this activity was only targeted at chasing some 3 innocent mice in the house. The last committee, the last training we attended, we were told, and of course, thank God it was paid by the assembly, that one way of having effective committees is to ensure that members have been given maximum time to exercise their potential. A high frequency in committees becomes a hindrance in the performance of those committees. As it is now, we had a report like 2 weeks ago to reorganize committees. Now, 2 weeks later, we have another report reorganizing the same committees. This, by the words of that facilitator in that training, it goes against that teaching. And this, I want to say, it's my personal observation. I would have thought that now that we had a reorganization 2 weeks ago, we would have given those committees time to perform, to see how they will do their work. But maybe that first reorganization did not meet the target. Honorable Speaker, I oppose this report. It's my right to. Because in the spirit of building capacity, this action is not prudent. It is not about the person. It's about the intent. It's not about the people mentioned. It's about what we need to achieve as an house. All of us were elected differently. We have different potentials. We might differ in opinion. We might not have the same view of things. Majority Leader, I would disagree with you. It's good to have loyalty, but unguided loyalty does not bear fruits for the government we support. At the committee level, every member should be allowed to see things according to how they feel they need to see them. We might differ. I remember when I spoke to the minority leader many days when we came to this assembly. He told me that the assembly is a house of persuasion. Being a house of persuasion, it means that I should be given the opportunity to persuade you of my stand. You should also be given an opportunity to persuade me of your stand. And at the end of the day, the stand that wins the majority of members in terms of persuasion carries the day. That is why we are told that the majority have their way and the minority have their say. Otherwise, nobody should be punished because they have a different opinion. And their negative opinion or a divergent view should not be viewed as disloyalty. Therefore, I wish to, for the first time, Majority Leader, allow me to reject, to refuse, and to oppose this report. Not because you are a bad person, you are a neighbor. Not because I am not a member of
Honorable Mutie, address the chair. You are not addressing the majority leader.
No, Honorable Speaker, there is no problem.
Address the chair. I think it's a committee report, not majority leader's report.
There is no problem. We have no actually, the majority leader is not even offended. So there is. He did not say that his name should not be mentioned. I only said I only spoke to about him as the chair of the committee and the person who presented the motion. So for this one, Honorable Speaker and my good neighbor, Honorable Nicholas, I will not support you on this one because it does not serve to enhance performance for us as an assembly. I thank you.
Thank you. Another member? Honorable Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. My name is Judas Ndawa, the area member of Matu. I stand to support the report as presented by our most able chair selection committee. Honorable Speaker, when the chair was taking us through the report, he cited standing orders that gives the assembly parties powers to put members in the committees and also move members from committees. So, Honorable Speaker, what is happening here, the positions of the committees do not belong to an individual member. These are the positions for the parties, assembly parties. And the assembly parties have powers either to retain you in that committee or to remove you from that committee. The members who represent committees, represent the party in the different committees, are just custodians for that particular time. But if you prove that you are not going as per the party interest, then the party can remove you. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to support and say or inform the committee, the House, that there will be more realignment. And the reason why I'm saying there will be more is this. Honorable Speaker, the committee started today. And before the report landed before this House, a member of the select committee, I don't know from which party, sent the same report to Honorable Maeke, who is not a member of select committee. And Honorable Maeke posted the same in the wall that has the 40 elected members. So, Honorable Speaker, the reason why I'm saying there will be more realignment, we are going to investigate. And in case we find that, the member who shared the report comes from Maendeleo Chapchap, Maendeleo Chapchap will have no option other than sending that new up. If we find that the Wiper party is the one, the member comes from that party, as Maendeleo Chapchap, we are going to complain to the Wiper party to discharge that member, because we cannot live in a world where secret cannot be kept. Honorable Speaker, I support the report, and I want to remind the members, as Mheshimiwa said, this is a house of persuasion. You need to persuade others. Win the hearts of other people, and you'll have no problems. But if you want to be a man of your own, you don't want to cooperate, then, my brother, I was here last regime, and I was kicked out of the committees. I was left with one committee, and I know. I can now confirm, because I'm a good witness. I know what happens if you are not loyal to the party which sponsored you to that particular committee. So, Honorable Speaker, I support the report, and I request these honorable members who are present here, kindly let us pass this report so that we can be able to go home early enough. The rain is with us. We have the rain. We go and cultivate. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Daniel.
Mr. Speaker, my name is Daniel from representing the people of Mlolongo Syokimau Ward. I stand here to thank the committee for good work. Although as we go through the report, we should also ask some few questions. The first question that we should ask is whether the changes are there to enhance performance of the committees. Mr. Speaker, we have had problems in committee attendance and performance. And I speak this as a chair. And even yesterday, I visited several committees, and there was a problem in attendance. And that I can say it here without fear of contradiction, that we have problems in our committees. And the selection committee, with its wisdom, if this is the solution to this problem, then let it be. But if this is not the solution to this problem, Mr. Speaker, there needs to be a proper investigation. Because as one honorable member said, we had changes just a few weeks ago. And this showed that the changes didn't make. Now we are in another one. And I want to echo what the minority has said. You can serve in one committee and make it back again. You said in the last assembly, you were left with one committee and you are here. And there are members who had many committees, and maybe they did not make it to come back again. So this should be also a lesson. You see a sword cuts both sides. It can cut forward and backward. So, Mr. Speaker, it's good to take the interest of this assembly and the interest of our great count in every decision that we make. If this decision is being made for the good of the count and for the good of the assembly, then let all members support it fully. And as I conclude, the minority has indicated that it's about parties. I also wish parties to do some consultations when doing such effects. Because as the minority, you lead the minority, you lead the chapter party, which is the minority. I hope and wish that decision is the stand or it's the position of the whole members of chapter in this house. And as our majority represent us, we also hope that the decision to wipe our members is the few or is the point of the all wipe our members of this house. So when it's all about parties, I want to encourage political parties in internal consultative meetings. Because if such things are done without proper consultation, then you'll find some members of political party doing it another direction and another one going another direction. So I stand here to support the report and hope that it will achieve its intention for the good of this assembly and the good of the great people of Machakos County. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Lloyd.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll start by saying I want to support the report, but I have some observation as well to make. The committee sat and made the decision that they made. That's the work we have given them. We are the one who approved them to be on that committee, so we have to trust the report they have given us. But I would like to say to be able to do the right job for this assembly, we should be considerate of others. There is life after this assembly. We'll meet outside there after this assembly. We should try as much as possible to minimize making that personal enmity. You can't tell who your friend will be after this assembly. It is history in this country that 90% do not make it to the assembly, and that's the reality, and you'll see even in the next election. You will meet me somewhere else. You need the help of that someone. So in as much as we need the sanity in the house, we need to do the way parliamentarians do. They take care of themselves when it comes to the assembly. When we go outside there, let us deal with the things outside there, we deal with them as they are outside there. When we come back here in this assembly, we be brothers and sisters. Because once we affect each other, tomorrow you'll have Ambare, tomorrow you'll have an Arabe, we need each other. But there are those things surrounding those things that are there. But I'd like to say, as His Excellency the President told us, if you have different ideas from your party, you have your own ideas. The party has an ideas. You put your ideas down and you follow the party. So, if there are some things that are made wrong on the parties, in as much as I say that we should be considerate of each other's, we're going to be able to deal with the consequences of the decision we make. Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Monga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for catching my eye. Mr. Speaker, if you allow me, I want to give a brief history. Mr. Speaker, we end the first assembly from 2013 to 2017, and we end the leadership, and none of us made it back in 2017. The second assembly, Mr. Speaker, had leadership. And all the members of that leadership of the second assembly, none of them went to the assembly. I don't want to say same will happen to the leadership of the third assembly. But we should.
Point of information, Honorable Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I don't want to be informed because I'm not through. I don't want to be informed,
Honorable
Mr. Speaker. And if I say I don't want to be informed, that one is allowed. You cannot force an information to a member. Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you so much. Mr. Speaker, I was saying, I'm not trying to insinuate that the leadership of the second assembly, the third assembly, will not be re-elected back in 2027. But we should borrow a review from the leadership of the first assembly, where was the leader majority? From the second leadership of the second assembly, and where we are today. Mr. Speaker, I want to echo the sentiments of one Honorable Engineer Vincent Mutie. I'm not seeing any reason as to why members were moved from committees in the last 2 weeks, and now they have been moved again. The former senator for Siaya, who is the governor for Siaya today, that is Honorable Orengo, or His Excellency Orengo, the governor, said, governments eat their own children. And what I'm seeing here, particularly with the Wiper Party, where I belong, that is what is happening. You are eating your own children. That is the party where I belong. And we should be asking ourselves, in 2017, 2027, we are having a presidential candidate. Instead of embracing other members to join our party, to be supporters of our party leader, we are chasing them away. We had members who are proudly walking around saying they are independent Wiper. But can they say that today? Are we trying to build the party, or we are killing our own party? Finally, Mr. Speaker, in natural justice, if I end the mandate as Honorable Mwanga under the powers, I would not mind to donate a slot to Honorable Ndunda, who is an elected member, and he has been, I don't want to say he has been substituted, because people like Mwanga were substituted from one committee to another. But to him, it is understanding under 156. He has been discharged from committees where he was. It is unfair. It is unfair, and God is watching. I'm talking this out of experience. I know with the leadership I had, how we treated members in the first assembly, but we had to pay for the consequences. I'm not ashamed of saying that. I had my own cabinet. Honorable Caro can attest to that. I remember one day saying I'm not sanctioning removal of members from committees. But the following day in the morning, I was called by the speaker in his office, telling me, now that you have not agreed, you have not sanctioned removal of members of committees.
Point of information.
Allow me finish.
Yes.
Allow me finish.
No, wait for Honorable Ndawa.
Yes.
Honorable
Honorable Speaker, it is not fair for honorable member to mention members who cannot defend themselves in this house. If you say you were called by a speaker and it is known, everyone knows who was the first speaker of this assembly, that is subjecting somebody to unnecessary torture. You can mention a member who is here because he has the capacity to defend himself. But somebody who cannot defend himself, let us not mention, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Ndawa.
Okay, I will not mention, but this is what I was saying. I was threatened, and the signatures were collected for me to be removed at the leader of majority. But those who were doing that to me, tell me where they are today. God vindicated me. I'm back in the assembly, and I cannot tell you where they are. And I don't want to say that they are leading a miserable life. This is a warning I'm sending to the leadership of this house. There is tomorrow, and God is watching. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Monga. I now, Honorable Brian. Then next is the mover to reply.
Mr. Speaker, I am rising to first comment Mheshimiwa Mwanga for owning up to the fact that in the first assembly, he committed some mistakes, which ended up haunting him up to now, which to me is a very honorable thing for a member to say. I'm standing here to support the motion. But as I support, I want to echo what Mheshimiwa Honorable Lloyd said. When we come to the assembly, I've been a victim of when you go against your party. And when you go against your party, you better be very careful what consequences come with that. I was lucky, at least mine was very strong, and I fought, and I survived. But if you are not ready if you don't have the muscle to wrestle your party, then be very careful what move you make with your party. And I want to say that, okay, obviously, some members have been hurt, and there's some consequences into some of the actions. But I'm just calling upon the members who are hurt, who kind of have been moved. They need to understand the reasons why they've been moved. And life is about understanding yourself. And then when you understand yourself, you can actually recollect yourself. Go back to the same people who gave you those positions, and then you make amends with them. Personally, I like to thank WIPA as a party. I was in second assembly. My friend, whatever you are seeing here, when you feel, some of us feel it's a right. But if you are in the second assembly, you will understand what it means to have a majority party which has got no mercy. In the second assembly, Chap Chap never enjoyed even one responsibility allowance. Even one. Even one. We were chased on this assembly. Personally, I was chased for 6 months. You know, some people think that what is happening is a big punishment. 6 months by Wipe Up as a party, by a majority party, for going against their whims. But this second and third assembly, to be honest, Wiper has played a very sober approach into the way they're handling other parties. To the extent of even ensuring that majority of us have responsibility allowances, which I think is a big plus to the party, and you have been very welcoming to the rest of the smaller parties. And I also want to thank my minority leader for taking the role to become a leader who negotiates for his people. Assembly is about give and take. And I think we are not worse off. Actually, we are doing very well. First assembly was a terror, and the guidance of Honorable Mwanga. Second assembly was even more terror, and the guidance of Kingangi. And the first majority leader. This time around, we want to thank majority leader and minority leader for the role you have taken in ensuring that you talk together as mature people and you continue putting people together. What I want to appeal to both of you is now I'm talking like an old man, when children also go against you, you are supposed to whip them hard so that they understand that you are the father. When you realize that they have accepted their mistakes, also bring them back. So we will take take the opportunity if you see any son who had gone astray, and they have kind of accepted the route to take. And also, and let me tell you, politics is about having a stand. You cannot afford to be a yo-yo in politics. If you are yo-yo in politics, yo-yo means today you are here and tomorrow you are here. You must have a stand, and also you must understand which route you want to take and where you want to go. Let me tell you, politics are so selfish and so serious that a small mistake can cost you. So as much as issues are there, and we've had big issues, I think also people should recollect themselves and find out where they have gone wrong. And based on that, let us come back together, consult the leaders. And if you consult majority leader, minority leader, I'm sure, and other parties, I'm sure you will come back to forward and we'll move on. And there will be nothing wrong. But if you continue taking a hard stand, I'm feeling that you are tough, my friend. You consult us. Then we'll tell you what happened to us in the second assembly. I tell you, it was painful. And it was not that easy. So my take is, I support. There must have been reasons why this has happened. And I support with as a caveat that let people consult themselves first, consult their friends, and then let's come back together. I'm sure majority leader, minority leader, and the leadership of the entire selection committee, there are people, there are men and women of great wisdom, and we can give and take. But provided people toe the line and understand their actions have consequences. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Brian. Honorable Nicholas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And thank you, honorable members, for supporting our well-thought report. I want to say, the Honorable Speaker, we did this report with the utmost diligence, knowing very well that the committees are engine of this house, and knowing very well that there were some gaps. I want to thank honorable members for supporting the report. Also, I want to, through you, Mr. Speaker, I am a good learner, and I like learning, but I don't pick every lesson. So to Honorable Mwanga, I'm sorry, I cannot pick any of your lessons. I know what you did to the honorable members of the first house, and I'm not about to do anything to any of the honorable members of this house. So I guarantee you, I'll not write a message to you when you're at Jomo Kenyatta Airport, traveling to an international city, and call you back. I can guarantee you our Katumo is shareable equally to every member. So those are lessons. So I cannot pick lessons that are going to hurt my conscience and my heart. Otherwise, as Mheshimiwa Minority Leader and Mheshimiwa Honorable Member has said, we were generous enough. We were very generous, but some members have thrown our generosities outside the window. And then we ask ourselves, why are you biting the hand that is feeding you? We are saying, as a party, I come to the party, if you think our generosity as Wiper Democratic Movement is not good enough to you, seek generosity from another person. But the door is still open, you can still come, and we negotiate. Some of those members, I want to report, we called them in consultation with Minority Leader. We offered them, we want to negotiate, we want to persuade you. They felt we have not persuaded them enough, and there's nothing else we could have done, and we let go. And we asked other members who we persuaded, and they accepted to come and join us. So the door is still open, but I would want to repeat and say, I will fight the corner of Wiper Democratic Movement in this assembly and persuade other people to join the same party like I've never done before. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Nicholas. I now put the question that, notwithstanding the resolution of the Assembly made on the 4th October 2022, 11th November 2022, and then 13th March 2024, approval of committee membership, and pursuant to Standing Order 155, this Honorable House approves the nomination and substitution of members to committees as contained in the fourth report of Committee on Selection on substitution and nomination of members to committees, and as specified in the schedule annexed to the older paper. As many as have the opinion say ayes. Ayes. As many as have the contrary opinion say nay. And the ayes have it. Thank you, honorable members. What I would say as the chair liaison, one thing I do appreciate the Committee on Selection. In the next 2 or 3 weeks, as the chair will also be presenting the committee progress reports, and that will indicate how various members, chairpersons have been serious with whatever they've been doing. I believe now the selection committee has made it with the numerous reports that they are bringing to the chambers or to the plenary for debate. For the chairs, for the other chairs who have not had any report in the plenary, I kindly request you just to follow suit and try to bring as many as reports in the assembly. The selection committee is not limited to when and how to bring reports in the chambers. If they so wish or have business, another business, they are still free to do so because they are just a committee like any other. So thank you, honorable members. And the House adjourns to the Tuesday, 16th April 2024 at 10 a.m. Thank you, honorable member. Thank you, honorable members, and happy Eid al-Fitr celebrations.